Hey guys, welcome back to another Ninja Gaming video, and today we are going over part 2 of 2027. Now, before we get right into WrestleMania and get this video going, there are some other stories going into WrestleMania that we need to address. We went over the big one with Jimmy and Sammy, going against, Dom and Penta, the Judgment Day, the whole Dom wedding situation of Liv being interrupted, post-elimination chamber. But there's other few stories leading into WrestleMania between the Royal Rumble and the WrestleMania. So let's go over them quickly. And so this isn't how do I say this? Right now, I'm just gonna do. It doesn't matter what arena I'm doing. This is just I'm putting some wrestlers on the screen to help talk to you about some of the upcoming feuds going into WrestleMania. We also talked about the Mean Girls going against the Damage Control, how Io was in charge, got attacked accidentally by Dakota Kai, then Dakota Kai got kicked out of Damage Control. Sasha Banks ended up winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship at the Royal Rumble against Tiffany Stratton. So let's go into it. One of the first feuds going on is with the Black Mask, Randy Orton. Now remember, CM Punk is the World Heavyweight Champion. He did the heist of the universe, cashing in his briefcase on Seth Rollins, getting his title, and etc. 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 And now it's WrestleMania season, and because, if I remember correctly, because the Intercontinental Championship was defended at the Elimination Chamber, the World Heavyweight Championship. How's the build-up going on with that? Well, there was already a build-up. We already had that the Black Mask was saying, look, I'm coming for that. Even though I teamed up with you, CM Punk, to, try and beat Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. I after this, I will kind of, respectfully, but as a man, go after your title. So we have, let me just go over this. Randy Orton, the Black Mask, going against CM Punk. This is a feud going into WrestleMania, mind you. Obviously, CM Punk is the World Heavyweight Champion. And then someone else really, really wants this title. And he thinks he's deserved it after going good, etc., etc. And there's this triple threat storyline build up. And it's a very in-depth storyline that had started to build up post-Royal Rumble, between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And between them, that's 2 full months to build this feud, so that's plenty of time and able to spread it out. But here I present to you this. A triple threat. So what happens is the Black Mask is doing his thing. Remember, he's still the leader of his army, etc., etc. Post-Royal Rumble, we have this kind of feud between Cody and Punk, and Cody and Punk have this respect, and Cody's like, I would love to have the opportunity to come and face you for that World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, obviously Cody Rhodes was in the chamber, so Cody was like, look, if I don't win the chamber, I would love to go up and challenge you for the World Heavyweight Championship. And you know that there's a massive history between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Good, beautiful history between the two of them. And CM Punk's like, yeah, of course, brother. Yeah, so CM Punk and Cody, they're chill. CM Punk's more than happy to offer a title match to Cody Rhodes. However, the Black Mask is jealous because he's been wanting to feud with CM Punk. And during a respectful promo between Punk and Cody, the Black Mask intervenes and starts attacking them, etc. The Black Mask is a heel and he's jealous, which all in all mean Black Mask is like, I want this title. I want this title. Black Mask attacks Cody and injures Cody. And Punk is angry. He's upset and he's annoyed that Black Mask attacked Cody Rhodes, just post-elimination chamber and injured Cody, and Cody's out for like 2 to 3 weeks, and Cody's injured and he's in hospital recovering in quotation marks, pretend, whatever. And CM Punk's now wanting to avenge Cody Rhodes because CM Punk's like, I had this respectful honorary feud with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you had to step in and intervene with it. And the Black Mask is like, I really want this title, And now CM Punk and Black Mask for a few weeks is looking like the main feud, the main build-up, the main match at WrestleMania. And then Cody Rhodes returns at one point, and then gets involved and starts attacking the Black Mask. And then the Cody Rhodes is like, I want the Black Mask, but CM Punk was feuding with him, and now the Black Mask also wants Cody as well as CM Punk. And so all these three have intervened, and it's like a triple threat feud. Also, it's not just these three involved. The Black Mask utilizes his men, his army of servants in that wearing the black masks, um, intervene, and they, try and attack CM Punk and Cody backstage. And there's this segment, one of the weeks, there's the Black Mask is away, and CM Punk and Cody are doing a promo in the ring, opening the show or whatever. And then on the screen, it's a FaceTime message from the Black Mask from wherever he is. He's his house, his room, whatever. And Punk's like, you're not a man. You're trying to threaten us, and you're not even here in person to do it. You're not a man. You're not a leader. And the Black Mask is like, I don't need to be there in person to attack you and get my way. And then the lights start to go off, and then a ton of and start to flicker. The lights for the ring on the ring. The lights, beaming onto the ring start to flicker, go off, whatever, and flash. And then the lights go on, and there's one man in the ring wearing the Black Mask, and he super kicks CM Punk, and he attacks. He super attacks CM Punk, and then it's just him and Cody Rhodes standing in the ring. And it is introduced. This person is in black pants. He's dressed like every other black mask servant hooded figure. He's wearing the black pants, black shoes, black socks. He's got a black hoodie on. His hood's over his over his head, whatever. And he's also wearing a black mask. After super kicking CM Punk down, and it's just him face to face with Cody, this Black Mask figure takes off his hood and then takes off his mask. And it is revealed the next and new bodyguard of the Black Mask is Montez Ford, which is crazy. Cody and the Black Mask, this new servant, new bodyguard, Montez Ford, they face off, have a stare down, and then Cody and Montez Ford start fighting in the ring before Montez Ford ends up getting the upper hand and does a low blow to Cody. Holy crap, the Black Mask is now, in control again. He has a new bodyguard, obviously. Remember, Braun Strowman left. Montez Ford is the real deal. And Montez Ford is providing a new sense of authority for the Black Mask. The Montez Ford has taken this role seriously, and over the next couple of weeks, Montez Ford is doing a lot of work for the Black Mask and adhering to all these new instructions that the Black Mask wants. Like, the Black Mask wants control of a new entire locker room backstage system where if people potentially want a match on the Monday Night Raw, they need to talk to the Black Mask first. Like, that's how high in control it is. And his Black Mask, at this point in time, servants are like security guards walking around and doing just guarding backstage, etc. They're like such a big deal, and the Black Mask has really taken over the show. And at one point, AJ Styles is wanting to book a match, and Montez Ford intervenes, whatever. And so Montez Ford and AJ Styles get into a bit of a feud as well, which we'll cover at WrestleMania, whatever. But regardless about that, well, here's the thing: the Black Mask's servants, they're not everywhere, but every now and again they'll pop up. And to be honest, the whole thing of Randy Orton, having control of all the matches that happen, it's not to that full extent. It's just every now and again he's like, is this going to happen? I want to say in this because I am in charge, etc., etc. But anyway, going back to this triple threat feud, we have a feud here between these three, Randy Orton, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes, and it's serious. It's CM Punk and Cody, furious for Randy, but Randy wants Cody and CM Punk. But CM Punk also wants to fight Cody because Cody's going to be heated with him as well, etc., etc. So this is going to be a triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. But the Black Mask is like, you guys are weak. We are the top three biggest names in the company currently. Let's make it big. Let's make it a proper main event. Let's have stuff on the line. And CM Punk comes up with this deal that ends up in a contract which they all sign, and is a heavy toll on the loser of this match. This triple threat will be for the World Heavyweight Championship. But whoever gets pinned is no longer allowed to be in the company wrestling, whether it's PLEs, whether it's main events, main roster, whether it's NXT. The loser, the one who gets pinned, cannot be seen in WWE until the winner loses that title. So say someone pins someone, they win the title, and then whoever gets pinned has to be gone until the winner loses the title. That is a huge, huge deal. What if the winner holds the title for a long time? There's a lot on the line. The Black Mask, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes. Another feud going into WrestleMania is obviously the continuation of Jay and Aleister Black. We have Kiana James and Jada Parker doing their thing. We have an immortal tag team match. The Bloodline. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Ooh. The Bloodline. The OG Bloodline. Remember, guys. That Seth is now teamed up with the OG Bloodline, which includes Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, Seth, and you know how back in the day they used to advertise Roman Reigns is coming back next week? Well, they still kind of do it now anyway. We're going to have like the advertisements. Roman Reigns returns next week to the ring, and it's the main event of the show, the final thing of the show. And pretty much the main event happens. Roman Reigns' music starts to play, but you notice it's a bit different. The start sounds the same, but then something else, you hear something else. And instead of Roman Reigns returning or just appearing on an episode of SmackDown, someone else actually appears. John freaking Cena. Now I know what you're thinking. John Cena has retired. I know what you're thinking. John Cena has retired. But let me talk this out. The music, the song playing is a remix that I've listened to on SoundCloud. I listen to a lot of these WWE remixes on SoundCloud. I recommend you listen to them, guys. John Cena comes out in a suit. Rare to see, but you'll see it. And he's saying, I am not here to wrestle. I'm not going to wrestle ever again because I retired from wrestling, but I am here to return as a manager. No physical contact with me will happen with any other wrestler, period. I will not be involved with wrestling. However, I am here to associate myself and help operate and manage a faction in the company and work behind the scenes. Kind of like Triple H. John Cena doesn't say this, but think of it as like Triple H in the Team Authority. He's in charge. Remember Team Cena versus Team Authority? Triple H is in a suit. He's working at. He was the desk worker, but he's still got in the match or whatever. Blah 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 blah. Try to stop Dolph Ziggler from winning. think of it like that, but John Cena is definitely not doing any physical blah 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 blah. John Cena has voluntarily associated him as the new manager of the OG bloodline. So uh let me see if I can make this an AOA so I can give you guys a bigger picture of what's going on. This is a huge thing. The remix is I think it's Thugonomics mixed with Roman Reigns' tribal chief theme. So let me quickly just give you guys a look at Roman Reigns' thing. Okay, part 2, guys, might be a bit longer. We might not get through as many PLEs as we wanted to. Roman Reigns. Why is it not? Let me just put through these guys, just so you know. Remember, for reference, Jey Uso is busy at the moment, but I'm just putting for now members of the OG bloodline. Where is Jimmy at, bro? Why didn't he not come up as the next freaking? We have Jimmy. Bro, this is pissing me off. Okay, yeah, Seth Rollins. Bro, I am so confused. What are these recommended selections? Sami Zayn. Paul Heyman, will he show up here? Nah, do I have to do managers? Is that an option? Oh, well, pretend John Cena, Paul Heyman's here, and let me just do John Cena as well. Okay, so, and Paul Heyman. This is the OG line. It is stacked, and it has never been bigger. And going into WrestleMania, this is the WrestleMania main event type storyline that you really want. Paul Heyman is a bit concerned and a bit annoyed because John Cena, in a way, is sharing his job, and John Cena is trying to impress the OG bloodline by doing all the things that Paul Heyman should be doing. At first, half of the OG bloodline is like, what the hell are you doing here? We don't want you here. You're not blood, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then the other half are like, he's cool. And John Cena doing his magic and his status of, being the best wrestler of all time. He's able to talk to higher management, general managers of SmackDown, to essentially give these OG bloodline members good opportunities. And that then, therefore, kind of persuades the OG bloodline to like John Cena, etc., etc. So Paul Heyman's still here, and so is, John Cena. We have this massive, massive bloodline. Of course, Jimmy and Sammy, like I said, are busy. Jay's busy. So we have Roman and Seth are the two, obviously, only wrestlers that can wrestle. And John Cena has, look, Seth Rollins is, Seth and Roman are still a bit skeptical with John, but they're like, okay, whatever. And just first off, imagine the OG Bloodline's entrance to the ring. It would be crazy. Crazy. Anyway, John Cena is like, look, WrestleMania is the wrestling at WrestleMania. It's like the immortal stage. It's the immortal experience. You become immortal when you get to wrestle at WrestleMania. And he thought, there are Hall of Fame wrestlers, but let's make a Hall of Fame match. And he's like, let's make an immortal match that will go down in history as one of the most classic wrestling matches, most star-studded wrestling matches of all time. And John Cena, using his power, he has made and aligned a match for Roman and Seth as a tag team at WrestleMania. And Paul's okay with this. Paul and John eventually, become cool, whatever. Add Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are like, cool, whatever. We don't have anything really going into WrestleMania. The OG brothers, Roman and Seth, want to reunite, and they want to do it at WrestleMania. They want to, obviously, they've tag teamed twice, towards the end of the year, against the Monster Dogs Was it the Monster Dogs? No, it was against, sorry, the Black Mask and Seth Rollins, and then the Nightmare Beasts. Nightmare Beasts. They want to do it again at WrestleMania, want to team up. They're like, okay, let's take advantage of this immortal match. John Cena has managed to get two wrestlers to return to wrestling to do their retirement matches or final matches in the WWE. This is the tag team that they will wrestle at WrestleMania 43. Remember, this is 2027. The first man is Goldberg. Why is he locked? Okay, that's just stupid. We have Goldberg. The second person is Stone Cold Steve Austin, baby. Let me get Goldberg back up. Obviously, in real life, Goldberg did retire in 2025 to Gunther, and obviously, and Steve Austin. I don't know if he's gonna have a final match or not. He did wrestle. Remember at WrestleMania 38. And he also, he's appearing on a, yearly basis. He, drove what did he drive? A quad bike. Sorry, he drove a quad bike somehow into a person at WrestleMania 41. So, it was just whatever. It was WrestleMania 40. No, it was WrestleMania 41, and he came on the quad bike or whatever. Blah blah blah. So I don't know. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is John Cena has arranged for this immortal tag team match. The Tribal Chief Roman Reigns with Seth freaking Rollins in the OG Bloodline versus the tag team of Goldberg and Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can imagine this match starting off slow because this match has so much nostalgia, so much aura. It's the past legends versus the present legends, and it's such a big, big deal. Now, leading up to this match, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg decide to get themselves their own manager for this match, their own representative, and it's someone big, which makes this immortal match even bigger. And I present to you their man. So look at this. The characters are all kind of all over the place. So obviously they're not lined up in order, but Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg decide, and definitely to get on the nerves of Roman Reigns and John Cena, they get The Rock. They get The Rock to return, and he is the final boss Rock. Again, remember, The Rock in my story, in my world, obviously, my story is, 2024 in real life happened, and 2025 onwards is blah, 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 my story. Obviously, in 2024, the final boss, The Rock, teamed up with Roman Reigns and OG Bloodline. In my story, in 2025, Roman Reigns, remember, won the Royal Rumble and then went on to face the final boss for the WWE Championship. So, the final boss, The Rock, and Roman Reigns are currently enemies, and they had been since 2025. This is obviously The Rock's return. This is huge. And one of the promos on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown leading to this is literally the two managers facing off against each other in the ring, just having a promo, and that is amazing. The fact that the two managers for each tag team can promote this feud by just having a one-on-one promo together is crazy. So on one of the the main event of the final segment or whatever of a random episode of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, leading towards WrestleMania, is literally The Rock and John Cena facing off in the middle of the ring in a promo battle, trying to represent their teams, and The Rock wins the promo because he's like trying to get under John Cena's skin, and he's like, "Come on, John, hit me. I want you to hit me. I dare you to hit me." And John has morals. He's a good guy. He's a baby face, and he sticks to his morals that he's retired and he's not doing any physical contact at all whatsoever. Whereas The Rock, he's not retired. He's getting really, really, really close to retirement, but it's not the end. And he's capable of hitting John Cena. He doesn't, but he gets really close and gets in his face and gets really personal to John, and then walks off. But just imagine like the heated promo to this, and it leads up to like I said, when you can just imagine it if because John Cena as the one of the new managers for the OG Bloodline comes up with this idea that there should be a Hall of Fame match, and then literally at every Hall of Fame they start doing matches. And obviously they'll start off by doing a lot of old classic matches. But eventually at a future Hall of Fame, this would be one of the matches that be a part of the class of that year. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins with John Cena and Paul Heyman on the sideline versus Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg with The Rock on the sideline. Like, that's a huge immortal match. I know I've been talking about this for a while, guys. But yeah, that is that. I don't think there is anything else really to go over. This is I think I've gone over everything. So let's go over WrestleMania 42, guys. I've already got the WrestleMania thing selected, but let me just. All right, let's start. Oh my God, let's start this off, shall we? WrestleMania Night 1. I really want to create my own arenas for this. That'd be so sick. And I might do that for future years, whatever. I really want to get Photoshop to be able to do my own backgrounds and logos and stuff. I really want to do that. So, anyways, guys, the opening match to WrestleMania 43 is the WWE Tag Team Champions, Sammy and Jimmy, defending them against the Judgment Day Tag Team of Dominic Mysterio and Penta. Now this, by the way, is in a tornado tag team match, which means there isn't a tap, whatever, so both teams can be at the ring at the same time. No disqualifications. And yeah, just absolute mayhem, really. And you don't have to rely. Sometimes, obviously, a hot tag is a very important aspect and a part of a match, and a hot tag can tell it's a very crucial story element to a majority of tag team matches, but there was already such a big story going into this match. Remember, this story started way back late last year when Dom attacked Jimmy, and Sammy and Jimmy almost lost the tag team titles, and then we had the whole really cool Jay and Naomi match against Dom and Liv, and then Sammy fought Dom, then Jimmy tried to fight Dom, but Dom would beat Jimmy. And then Dom and Liv had their wedding, which got interrupted in a comedic manner by Jimmy and Sammy, and Penta's a part of it, whatever. And this is it. This is for WWE Tag Team titles. Now, with this WrestleMania in my head, I have the posters lined up, and essentially, if I remember so correctly, it's kind of like a back shot. Pause. Big pause. It's like a shot from behind of a wrestler walking to the ring, sort of, but like from a sort of an angle. So you see this. Yeah, it's hard to explain. But But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool, the advertisement for this, you know. Um, and anyway, this is, like I said, one of the biggest one of the really good, fun feuds going into the WrestleMania. And this also opening WrestleMania is huge, um, because of it's just it's a very spectacular match, and because it's a tornado tag team match, that's what you want. It's an entertaining match, and also, you know, the opening match the opening night match to WrestleMania is arguably like the second biggest match of the night. Or not saying that it is, but it's definitely should be in general, because, you know, obviously you want it to. This is pretty much advertising the whole show. Because if the opening match is bad, well, then you're going to assume the rest of the PLE is bad, whatever. Regardless, we have a tornado tag team match for the WWE tag team titles, and my boys Jimmy and Sammy retain. The next up is a singles match. And this is a female match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We have Sasha Banks going against, you guessed it, Dakota Kai. Remember, Dakota Kai got kicked out of Damage Control, and while Io Sky was temporarily injured, she temporarily let Sasha Banks be in charge, you know, being the Women's Intercontinental Champion. And the winner here is Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks does retain, but it's a solid match. It's really nice to have Dakota Kai on the WrestleMania match card. Yeah, it's a simple match, but it's Damage Control. It's like I said, this WrestleMania matches, if a match doesn't have a good built-up story and a good built-up feud, I don't believe it should be at WrestleMania. Of course, contendership winning matches that give you a title shot don't necessarily need a story. Obviously, a story is excellent to great to add on to it, but, you know, there's a somewhat of a justification or excuse as to why. Like, for example, if, say, someone wins the Elimination Chamber, obviously from there, and you get that gives you a spot at WrestleMania, obviously you build a story from that. But, you know, if it's close to WrestleMania and you only have 4 weeks to build a story, that's okay if the story isn't that good, because it's justifiable. Whatever. Same with like a gauntlet win, etc. Any contendership match, you know what I'm saying? Regardless. So Sasha Banks does retain her Women's Intercontinental Championship. The next is also a singles match, and this is a huge one. We have somewhat of a built-up story. AJ Styles at WrestleMania, guys, versus the new Black Mask bodyguard, Montez Ford. Like I said, between Montez Ford and AJ Styles. AJ Styles just trying to do his thing backstage, and with the Montez Ford, you know, trying to run order backstage under the guidance of the Black Mask, you know, it causes a feud. And they've already got a feud. Now, I think it's really important, and it's discussed in this story and this build-up, that Montez Ford now has confidence again. And it's because he has support, and it's because of he's not alone. See, when he had the WWE Championship, he wasn't alone. That gold was his alliance. That gold was his support network, really. It meant something to him. And now he, you know, obviously losing it and losing all that power, he made him depressed. It made him so confused. It made him restless. And he didn't know what to do with himself. And to distract himself, he's offered to work for someone and to, you know, no longer necessarily prioritize his needs, rather prioritize someone else's needs, to kind of give him purpose, because he has no purpose. After losing that title, he feels like he has no purpose in life, and so he now thinks his purpose in life is to serve someone, and so now he's confident again, and he's working for the Black Mask. And believe it or not, the advertisement for this match is huge. This is the Clash in Paris main event rematch at WrestleMania. Their main event match at Clash in Paris was amazing for the WWE Championship. and now they have a match at WrestleMania 43. And as you can imagine, this is a fantastic match, very similar to their match in the main event of Clash in Paris. And AJ Styles actually wins this match, so they're 1-1 in this feud. Obviously, this is a different Montez Ford compared to the last one. The Montez Ford here isn't cocky, but he does have confidence, which is, so there's different attributes, whatever. And AJ Styles is able to, in the promos, use that Montez Ford, the fact that he's working for someone and how it's pathetic or whatever, and he doesn't. And AJ Styles can bring up heat to Ford, like, hold up, bro, you don't even have the strength to stand up for yourself and to be yourself. You're currently being and following the values of someone else. It's crazy, like, etc., etc. So there's a single match there. The next match is for the Women's Championship. And remember, Zelina Vega won the, remember this is not one, by the way. Zelina Vega won the Royal Rumble. She had a massive year in 2026. I gave her, having a huge Women's Intercontinental Championship run. And she's going against the current winner who surprisingly beat Jade Cargill for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. We have Nikki Bella. I should really download her so I don't have to keep doing this. This is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is a solid match, and it's one of those interesting ones where they're both baby faces. However, in this match, Nikki Bella does retain, unfortunately. So in this instance, I don't know if this is the first time it's happened, but the Women's Royal Rumble winner did not go on and win at WrestleMania. It sucks, but it happens. It's not a guaranteed chance that you win that title once you win the Royal Rumble. And sometimes I'm glad that it goes like that so that it can show, like Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. It shows character development and it shows unpredictability, and it's a perfect feud, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It just means you can have another perfect feud for that title if Nikki Bella is a really good, successful Women's World Heavyweight Championship. I can imagine this being a really good, very sexy, very, entertaining match. Yeah, that's it, guys. That is for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. The next match is the second last match of the night one, and it is the tag team match. And I was talking about it just earlier. What I'm gonna do here, though, for it, I'm gonna do 4-4, just to indicate this. So we have Roman Reigns. The OG Bloodline Tag Team. This is the Immortal event. The reason why this isn't main eventing WrestleMania, just like how Roman versus Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell match, the biggest match of 2026. The reason why that didn't main event, same as why this match doesn't main event WrestleMania, is because the WWE Championship is main eventing. The championship is main eventing WrestleMania. So we have, where is my guy? Seth Rollins. With, of course, their managers walking with them, on the entrance to the ring, and being on the sidelines during the match, cheering them on or whatever. Obviously, it's John Cena and Paul Heyman. Can I do, actually, Roman Reigns? I can't do a manager, can I? Anyway, Paul Heyman is on the side there. Obviously, going against the tag team of, let me just put The Rock here first, might as well. The Rock, and then the actual tag team that's wrestling, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Goldberg. Remind you that this is a retirement match for Goldberg and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think this is also a perfect way to retire in this immortal match. But this is the most immortal match, and different to the opening match of also the OG Bloodline, Jimmy and Sammy defending the tag team championships against Dom and Penta. That was a tornado tag team match. This is a standard tag team match, so that, that means just the tap, you gotta like tag in one person in at a time. Obviously there'll be shenanigans at some point when, both or all four members or wrestling in the ring, whatever. This is really, really big. I can imagine this is a classic match, and using Stone Cold Steve Austin's wrestling types as well as Goldberg's, and Roman and Seth being a bit quicker. But this match starts off really slow, just like I said, to demonstrate the aura, the nostalgia, the classicness. Let the match fill the air. Starts off slow. Think of it as sort of like Roman and The Rock versus Cody and Seth. That match started off pretty slow, but then it kicked up and got pretty quick over time as the match went on. This match will go the exact same. Also, notice right now how The Rock is so much bigger than Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm so confused right now. It's really, really weird. Anyways, this match is immortal. I can imagine this being one of the best matches of the year as well. Like I said, immortal. It's a classic, a WrestleMania classic. And the winners of this match of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. However, at the end of the match, both teams end up in the ring still. And, obviously they're injured, whatever. I think it ends with Roman pinning Stone Cold Steve Austin. And so on one side of the ring, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg just sitting down, like exhausted, on the ground of the mat, in the ring. Seth Rollins is next to Roman. Seth Rollins is also down, injured, whatever, like just trying to catch his breath, and Roman's still sort of up. And Paul Heyman and John Cena, come in to celebrate with Roman and Seth, whatever. And then Paul Heyman does a low blow to Roman Reigns. The Rock enters the ring. And Paul Heyman now joins the final boss, The Rock. It's a huge ending to a match, and this is Paul Heyman leaving the OG bloodline. Roman Reigns goes to intimidate or confront Paul Heyman, but John Cena gets between him and like, hey, no. And then the match ends with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg and The Rock and Paul Heyman walking out as a group of four together, standing on the entrance to the ring, do the pose, whatever, and then walk off inside. And then even though Roman and Seth won, they're still in the end lost mentally because they just lost Paul Heyman, and Roman is overwhelmed and confused and annoyed, and John is trying to help Seth up, and then they end up leaving. So even though they won, the OG Bloodline lost the member in Paul Heyman. But this is, like I said, one of the biggest matches of the year, an immortal match, and yeah. Now it's time for the main event of night one, and I can imagine. And this match I haven't really talked about the feud, but it's a big feud, and this match is for the WWE Championship. So we have the defender, Drew McIntyre, who won it at the Royal Rumble in that TLC match against LA Knight, and it is against the Royal Rumble winner, Braun Breaker. This is a serious Braun Breaker. He's no longer, since the Royal Rumble, you can tell that he's no longer playing around, no longer waiting. And because as soon as he won the match, he snatched the microphone and said, "Drew, I'm coming for you." He didn't even decide. He did not even think to go after the World Heavyweight Championship, being CM Punk. And what can I tell you guys? This match is epic. Braun Breaker has a huge entrance to WrestleMania. He comes out with like dirt bikes and motorbikes going around, smoke going off, just crazy, crazy WrestleMania main event entrance. And Drew McIntyre comes out with a ton of Scottish Warriors or whatever, pretty nice, epic main event. This match is brutal, and these two give it their absolute all. But the winner of this match is Bron Breakker, and Bron Breakker finally wins the WWE Championship, beating Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre only held the WWE Championship from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, and therefore he only really had one title defense, which was this one. But at the same time, even though he only had one title defense and it wasn't even really successful, the storyline and the build and the feud and the build up was really perfect for Bron Breakker, and it was brutal. And it's the kind of feud when these two guys hated each other, and they'll just be, if they saw each other backstage, they'll be chasing after each other, beating the hell out of each other. One of those big meaty feuds, it would be epic. And Bron Breakker wins the WWE Championship. Night 2. The opening match is once again main event Jey Uso versus the bounty hunter Aleister Black for the United States Championship. And this time, the Black Mask members, like extra security, are barred from ringside. So Jey now has a fair chance to beat the Black Mask, because remember they had a match for the United States Championship at Elimination Chamber, and the Black Aleister Black, being the bounty hunter, was like, you know what, screw this, I just want to see you get brutally attacked, whatever. And so he just calls out, his allies, the Black Mask servants, and just gets them to beat up Jey Uso, causing a disqualification in the match, whatever. This is a serious match, so this Aleister Black now has this bounty hunter personality, alter ego, where he gets paid to do stuff, etc. And in this match, he's going after, again, Jey Uso for the United States Championship. And Jey Uso wants to defend this title against Aleister again, just for the opportunity to beat up Aleister Black again in a ring, because Jey obviously, hated getting beat up by him. Jey wants a fair fight. Regardless, Jey Uso retains the United States Championship. And Aleister Black, I'll talk about it now, post-WrestleMania has this interaction with Montez Ford, because Montez Ford, covers and, does all of the Black Mask's big instructions and big duties, because he's the main bodyguard, the main servant. And Ford's like, you didn't get the championship. And Aleister Black's like, you guys only paid me to give Jey a beatdown. If you wanted that gold title, you should have paid me extra. And then that's that. Next up is a singles match. And this is actually one of the matches I've been most anticipated for, most excited for. And it's a match. We have Kiana James versus Jada Parker. This is a really big match, and like I said, I reckon all WrestleMania matches should have a feud going into this match, going into the card, whatever. I believe that this is a really good match. Remember, like I said, Kiana James was getting sick of being in a tag team with Jada. Kiana James was turning into a heel. Jada Parker was really wanting them to get the women's tag team titles again, and they were going against the Kabuki Warriors, if I remember, have the women's tag team titles, which I'm sorry, I don't even think I have them defending at WrestleMania, but that's okay. And then obviously there was that match where there's a contendership match for the tag team titles. If Jada Parker beat Asuka in a one-on-one match, then they'll get the opportunity. Kiana James wanted to be involved as well, so she was assigned the special guest referee, but she allowed for Asuka to just beat the living crap out of Jada, and pretty much Kiana James cost Jada Parker the tag team opportunity. And then Jada Parker had an Elimination Chamber match, and just like I talked about this in part 1, just like in real life 2025 Elimination Chamber, how Jade cost Naomi the match at the Elimination Chamber. So Jada was starting the match, and Kiana would sneak in, would come out before the gate closed and just brutally attack Jada, and then Jada would get pinned. It's come down to this, a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. No stipulations needed, but it's special. This is, this is the first match of their proper feud, and Jada Parker wins this match. Big moments for these two, having a WrestleMania match, not just a WrestleMania match, but a one-on-one match, The next match is another singles match. I can't remember why I had this. This is for no title involved, and I haven't talked about a feud for this or anything, but I think it would be a nice match. We have Logan Paul, he's on the game, but it's against Dolph Ziggler. Pardon me, just burped. Dolph Ziggler, he has this, he returns every now and again, and he's having a feud with Logan Paul, and I can just imagine this match being spectacular. These two, Dolph Ziggler is the king of selling, and Logan Paul's movesets are just incredible. So is Dolph Ziggler's. Just imagine these two in the ring. Spectacular match. This match deserves to be at WrestleMania or SummerSlam, but WrestleMania it is. And the winner of this match is Logan Paul. The next match that is a build-up that I forgot to talk about, and it is for the Intercontinental Championship. So I think I'm talking about some tension being built, because Jacob Fatu ended up putting the slot in the tribal wheel, the gimmick that I told you guys about. The whole system, the gimmick that, was a big part of the Solo's Intercontinental Championship run. And even though I didn't show off the matches in the videos, late last year, because, he won the title against Sheamus at the 2026 SummerSlam. Between then and, the start of the year, they had this gimmick where Solo Sikoa and his Islanders, they had this tribal wheel, and, kind of like the thing where you get the Royal Rumble entrance number thing from. Anyway, Solo would get, the name of his competitor for the next Intercontinental Championship. Well, like I said, obviously, Jacob Fatu put in the Elimination Chamber. And they consider it to be some sort of sacred thing, this wheel, so he had to do it, and he was really annoyed. And then it turns out Jacob put the name in because he thought Solo should add really good, levels to his title reign, and Solo got annoyed. And then another time, I didn't mention this, Tonga Loa put in Jacob Fatu's name into the thing. And then Solo Sikoa pulled it out, and he's like, what the hell is this? And Tonga Loa's like, oh, I put that in. And he's like, how dare you? Why would you do that? And then Jacob Fatu's like, hold on. So Solo's like, I don't want to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. But Jacob's like, why not? Why aren't you giving me an honor, in honor of your family? Why don't you give me an Intercontinental Championship match? And, this is kind of like the whole Bailey and Naomi event for 2026 WrestleMania. It's like, blood feuding or friends, family feuding, whatever. And it turns into a feud, and Jacob and Solo fight, whatever. And so we have, for the Intercontinental Championship, we have Solo Sikoa defending his Intercontinental Championship against Jacob Fatu. So we have a new Intercontinental Champion. This is huge because, it means that Jacob Fatu is out of the Islanders. He's broken up with Solo, whatever, because of their feud. I can't remember if Tamatonga and Tongaloa, Tongaloa, I get them mixed up sometimes. I can't remember if they go with Jacob or if they go with Solo. I can't honestly remember. Remember, they are the World Tag Team Champs as well. And essentially, yeah, this is a huge match. You can imagine it being more brutal. I want this to be more brutal than their actual feud that happened in real life in 2025. And also on top of that, I want it to be a better story, better build-up. And like I said, the story of it being this sacred Samoan wheel, bloodline wheel, and Jacob's name gets pulled, and Solo now has to defend it against Jacob, it could have been just like that, but then because of, then there was a feud, then they hate each other, and Jacob was pissed off because, hold up, Solo doesn't think I'm worthy of holding a title, the Intercontinental Championship, and yeah. And so Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, and Jacob Fatu wins. The second last match of the night is for the Women's WWE Championship, and we have the defender, Naomi, and she is defending against the Women's Elimination Chamber winner, Rhea Ripley. As you can imagine, this is a solid match. These two haven't paired before, going head to head in the ring, especially at a major PLE like this. And remember, it's babyface Naomi versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's Rhea Ripley, always a babyface, whatever. And this is for the Women's WWE Championship. You can imagine this being a very interesting match because they're both main event stars, and the predictability is very strange here because you actually don't know who could win this. Rhea Ripley is literally the women's main event superstar, the cover star of the women's division. But Naomi's got all the experience, so does Rhea. But there's just so much talent in this ring. The movesets are insane. And the winner of this match is actually Naomi. So Naomi is able to retain the Women's WWE Championship, pinning Rhea, which sucks for Rhea. Now the video is about to end, guys, so I want to quickly go over the main event match, which is a huge, huge deal. And this is the triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship. So we have, obviously, the Black Mask, Randy Orton, we have CM Punk, and we have Cody Rhodes. Remember, this is for the World Heavyweight, but whoever gets pinned has to quit WWE, and they can't return until the winner loses the title. This match goes for a very long time. I would say at least 40 minutes, man. The stakes are high. This is one of the biggest matches of the year as well. And essentially, guys, they're all equal moments. There are times when all three are wrestling in the ring at the same time, chaining off of each other. There's times when there's just two in the ring, one on the sideline. A lot of people don't like that, but that's why it only happens for a little bit. Most of the time, it's just the three chaining off each other, wrestling together, all in the ring at once. At one point, CM Punk gets injured and gets thrown out of the ring, and then it's Cody Rhodes and the Black Mask just one-on-one for a good solid 5 to 8 minutes, just them two in the ring fighting. And then Cody Rhodes is doing the most damage. It looks like Cody, out of that 5 to 8 minutes, I would say at least 4 to 5 of those minutes, Cody Rhodes is doing the most damage and looking like he's about to win. Cody Rhodes looks like he's about to win. He has the Black Mask dead, he can't even move. He does Cody Rhodes is doing 4 or 5 literally 5 crossroads on the Black Mask because Cody Rhodes doesn't want to retire and he wants the World Heavyweight Championship and now he's earned and deserved this spot. And just as he's about to go pin him, the CM Punk sneaks back into the win, hits a GDS on Cody, and pins Cody Rhodes. Even though Cody had done literally the most damage towards the end of the match and the most impact, CM Punk ends up sneaking in. Despite CM Punk still being a babyface, a lot of people after WrestleMania see him as a temporary slight heel or a jerk for doing that move of sneaking in and just taking the gold. So essentially, CM Punk successfully retains his World Heavyweight Championship. And even though the Black Mask was the one that was like a dead corpse in the ring, Cody Rhodes is the one that has to quit the WWE until CM Punk loses the World Heavyweight Championship. That's it, guys, for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This was a huge deal, a huge match, a huge PLE, a huge story. Like I said, we had the Immortal match, etc. And a huge WrestleMania 43 2027. A lot happened. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Part 2, we didn't get through much in terms of progression-wise. We only went through WrestleMania, but we also went up over the couple of other built feuds leading into WrestleMania. But that is that. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all in Part 3. Peace.